I got started by doing some service work with women in recovery who were in residential treatment here in town, realizing that they absolutely needed mentoring. They needed what I really had hoped for was to find a place that I actually could house women or have work for them to do and then get childcare at the same time. So I ended up becoming affiliated with community outreach and started just doing parenting in the home. Then we got to the point where there's a capital campaign for community outreach, and my husband and Bond and I got involved in the capital campaign. So I said, can we incorporate childcare into the whole scheme? So ultimately, that's what we were able to do, which I was very, very glad to get that established. I think many reasons. I think first and foremost, a lot of my ladies were in recovery. They needed to go to treatment. Oftentimes they had court dates, they had parole officer meetings, medical things they needed to do, no childcare. So for them even to just make progress in their recovery and in coming to a place where they could function successfully, they had to have some place for their children to be. But on top of that, they absolutely needed a place where people could model for them how you can be with your children. We really ended up, my staff and I, kind of being the moms or the family for these mothers that we worked with because they really hadn't been mothered themselves. And so it really allowed us the opportunity to do parenting and at the same time give them the time and the space to get their lives together and do all the things they needed to do to meet their obligations. My feeling and what I wanted was just for it to feel like a home, for it to feel like a backyard, patio, sandbox, things growing, things that people, the kids could water the plants and water the flowers and, pick the veggies and eat them. And we did a garden. So we had some raised bed gardens. We had little pets. We had fish. We had guinea pigs. We had hermit crabs at various and sundry times. But the kids, for them to just have a pet and to be able to care for a pet. We did summer camp, so we'd set up tents like 1 week in the summer and have our naps outside, do our reading time outside, have pretend fire pits. And we had water play in the summer. And there were just things that we were able to do with the kids that we knew they had probably not been able to do, and were certainly not able to do while they were in shelter or their parents were in treatment. I started out working with women in recovery and seeing how absolutely difficult it was for them. And many of them, they still had to pay off fines in order to get a driver's license. Then they had to have the money to get insurance. They had a bunch of things they had to do before they could even get their children back. The issue that they face, it's a long, hard road. And for their children to be ultimately reunited and then parented, the mothers had to be cared for. So yeah, that's really where I got started, was looking at these moms in recovery and going, whoa, they have so many things they've got to get over with before they can actually be parents, of any value. I have had people say that, that they really appreciated that time, and that, if nothing else, I had people who could get their GED. They didn't yet have their high school diploma. So to see people, say, well, I was able to get my GED. I had several people get associate's degrees. Just to know that gave them space and the opportunity to go ahead and get education that allowed them to get, any kind of employment that would help support them. I know that made a difference. It's just been a pleasure for me I truly feel, just very blessed to have been able to do it, and also for the fact that it has been extended and that Bonnie has done such a good job of carrying on. I just have felt very, very happy because it's for children and families. And so I'm very, very pleased.